Welcome to the 10th session of Cyber Offenses and Cyber Crimes. In today's session, we will study what is vector attack and how vector attack is launched. An vector attack is a path or means by which an attacker can gain access to a computer or to a network server to deliver a payload or malicious outcome. Attack vectors enable attackers to exploit system vulnerabilities, including the human element. Attack vectors include viruses, email attachment, web pages, pop-up windows, instant messages, chat rooms, and deception. All of these methods involve programming or, in a few cases, hardware in which a human operator is fooled into removing or weakening system defenses. To some extent, firewalls and antivirus software can block attack vectors. However, no protection method is totally attack proof. A defense method that is effective today may not remain so for long because attackers are constantly updating attack vectors and seeking new ones to gain unauthorized access to computers and servers. The most common malicious payloads are viruses, Trojan horses, worms, and spyware. In the technical term, payload is the necessary data being carried within a packet or other transmission unit. In this scenario, payload means the malicious activity that the attack performs. The attack vectors can be launched in following ways. The first one is attack by email. The obstructive content is either inserted in the message or linked with the message. Sometimes attacks include the two different vectors so that if the message does not affect by vector, the attachment included in the message will affect by vector. Spam is almost always carrier for scams, fraud, dirty tricks, or malicious action of some kind. Any link that offer something free is always include vector for attack purposes. Next one is attachments. Malicious attachments install malicious computer code. The code could be a virus, Trojan horse, spyware, or any other kind of malware. Attachments attempt to install their payloads as soon as you open that software or code. Next one is attack by deception. Deception means the act of causing someone to accept as true or valid, but actually it is false or invalid. Deception is aimed at the user or operator as a vulnerable entry point. It is not just malicious computer code that one needs to monitor, but also to make fraud, scams, hoax, and spam. It may include viruses, worms to move unknowingly into the computer to make an attack. Social engineering and hoax are other forms of deception that are actually an attack vector. Next one is hackers. Hackers or crackers are a misleading attack vector because, unlike ordinary malicious code, people are flexible and they can improvise the vector. Hackers or crackers use a variety of hacking tools and social engineering to gain access to computers and online accounts. They often install a Trojan horse to give command to the computer for their own use. Next one is attack by web pages. Fake websites which looks like genuine websites are used to extract personal information. Such websites look very much like the genuine websites, which they actually copy that website. One may think he is doing business with someone you trust. However, he is really giving their personal information like address, credit card number, and expiry date of credit card. They are often used in combination with spam, which gets you there in the first step. Pop-up web pages may install spyware, adware, or trojans. Sixth one is attack of the worms. Many worms delivered as email attachments, but network worms are used to make holes in network protocols directly. Any remote access services like file sharing is likely to be vulnerable to the sort of worm. In most cases, a firewall will block system worms. Many of these system worms will install Trojan horses in the computer. When the particular computer gets infected by worms, they will start scanning the other computers in that network by using internet and start looking for other computers to get infected. If the worm is successful, it progresses very rapidly. The worm owner soon has thousands of zombie computers to use for more misbehavior. Next one is malicious macros. Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel are some of the examples that allow macros. A macro does something like automating a spreadsheet. For example, macros can also be used for malicious purposes. All internet services like instant messaging, internet relay chat, and peer-to-peer file sharing networks depend on connections between the computer and the other computers on the internet. If someone is using peer-to-peer software, then his system is more vulnerable to get affected. Next one is foistware or sneakware. Foistware is the software that adds hidden components to the system very cleverly. Spyware is the most common form of foistware. Foistware is not fully but partially legal software bundled with some attractive software. Sneak software often hijacks your browser and diverts you to some opportunity that the foistware has set up. Last one is viruses. These are malicious computer codes that take you somewhere else and make the payload. Nowadays, virus vector include email attachment, downloaded files, worms, etc. So that's it for today's session. In next session, we will see what is cloud computing and advantages of cloud computing.